and MEAC Nation to see your post reposted. And when football is on, you have to be at B-Dubs for our $5 game day deals. Buffalo Wild Wings, Arundel Mills, Owings Mills, and White Marsh. Wings, beer, sports. Also, for the moment you enter the newly renovated Baltimore Inner Harbor Holiday Inn, Baltimore Inner Harbor, until you return home, you experience all the charms that give our hometown its Charm City moniker. Hotel is conveniently located 3 blocks from Baltimore Inner Harbor, and also it's across from the Baltimore Convention Center. Within 1 mile, guests can find the Horseshoe Casino, Hard Rock Cafe, and M&T Bank Stadium, home of your Baltimore Ravens. You can listen to all the Coppin State volleyball and basketball home games on Fox Sports Williamsport and on Baltimore's 1570 AM WNST, proud partners of Coppin State Athletics. And the THB Bagels and Deli in Charles Village is located and is a proud sponsor of Coppin State Volleyball. Come enjoy Baltimore's hometown bagels made fresh daily.
Boss up, hey, and level up, level up. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy.
Throw it back and wind hit the ground. Oh, wind it up, oh, round and round. Let's go. Throw it back and wind hit the ground. Let's go. Wind it up and go round and round. Level up, level up, level up, all the way up, level up to the sky now. Big Rich gotta go, level up, get that cash, level up. It's time to win, level up, dangerous.
Man, I got it swag. My head matching my bag. You know I'm poppin' tags. 'Cause man, I got it swag. Man, I got it swag. My head matching my bag. You know I'm poppin' tags. 'Cause man, I got it swag. When I serve, now watch me serve this swag. I'm on here now. Polo on my body, got a bag of Versace and a friend right behind me, and I'm swag.
I want to know who my representing in here tonight. Hold on.
Keep letting you back in. How can I explain myself? You said you cared for me,
Louisiana, murder on the beat. Something for y'all to cut up to, you know? Yeah. Everybody get your roll on. I know shorty and she doesn't want no slow song. Had a man last year, life goes on. Haven't let that thing loose, girl, in so long. You been inside, know you like to lay low. I've been peeping what you bringing to the table. Working hard, girl, everything paid for. First, last phone bill, car, no cable. With your phone out, gotta hit them angles. With your phone out, snapping like you Fable. And you showing off, but it's alright. And you showing off, but it's alright. It's a short life, yeah. That's a real one in your reflection. Without a follow, without a mention. You really piping up on these. You gotta be nice for what to these. I understand, you got 100 bands, you got a baby bands, you got some bad friends. High school pics, you was even bad then. You ain't stressing off no lover in the past tense, you already had them. Work at 8 a.m., finish round 5. Fall down, you don't see them outside. Yeah, they don't really be the same offline. You know dog days, you know hard times. Doing overtime for the last month. Saturday, call the girls, get them gassed up. Gotta hit the club, gotta make that jump. Gotta hit the club like you hit them angles. With your phone out, snapping like you Fable. And you showing off, but it's alright. And you showing off, but it's alright. It's a short life.
These your boy. I mean,
Watch the breakdown.
Hit them angles. It's a short life.
Yeah. Jump from Baltimore, you say you was, I never see you. What part you on? I got some family on the Alameda. I love my city, that's about me, and I bet they know me. My name good in any hood, I hung around Savannah. I got a bitch that live on Appleton, she love them killers. When I re-up, I hit my partner, then my Garden Village. My uncle Jimmy round the corner on the avenue. We baller block, and that's the type of shit I never do. I'm from the east side, you know what kind of shit I'm on. But I be everywhere, I sold drugs and wood alone. I know some down the hill that got it for the low. I live in Bird City, you already know. And I don't go nowhere unless a nigga strapped up. And if you fuck a Morgan, bitch, you better strap up. Talking shit to get you and get clapped up. We with this better not act up. My nigga Pistol P was born and raised on Biddle Street. My nigga died, he ain't make it this year 23. I got a bitch that work up numbers in that wet. And every day she catching has to get the Lafayette. She said she stripping, trying to get the fuck about the jets. But they ain't none my business, I'm just trying to get the net. A lot of rappers in my city have these wet. And I ain't never been the bitch, I'm keeping shit a stat. Ain't someone go and tell the DJ they should bring this back. I've been the G since Kitty Disco's at the Hammer Jacks. I swear to God, I could never love a dumb. She live on Monroe, but swear she murdered Monroe. See, all my niggas never love them, we be sharing those. Cause all these Instagram famous sharing clothes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the NCAA, the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, Coppin State University, and Delaware State University encourage and promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, ethnic, or sexual comments or other intimidating actions will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the physical education complex. Also, consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages is strictly prohibited. We thank you for your cooperation in this matter.
I love my people with the Miley Cyrus, the Bobby Brown, the sour diesel, stealing out my mama purse. If she catch you, I bet she beat you. Used to play in alleyways, we was ducking them dirty noodles. I swear the city ain't the same since we lost Swift. She lived forever to the city, she was God's gift. We showed the police we ain't with none of that nonsense. These other rappers lacking soul, ain't got no conscience. I rap the struggle, I know that you hate me, good, I love you, watch me bubble. Then got up with Ross, so they in trouble, I don't fumble. Was raised in the gutter, I love the jungle, I ain't never had shit but a dream, now I see them. Someone go and tell the DJ they should bring this back. Someone go and tell the DJ they should bring this back. I love my city, yes about me, and I bet they know me. I love my city, yes about me, and I bet they know me. I love my city, yes about me.
I'm ready. Come on.
Feel it coming in the air. Hear the screams from everywhere. I'm addicted to the thrill. It's a dangerous love affair. Can't be scared when it goes down. Got a problem, tell me now. Only thing that's on my mind is who gonna run this town tonight.
Yeah, I said it, we are. This is Rock Nation. Pledge your allegiance. Get your fatigues on. All black, everything. Black cars, all black, everything. And I know the black girls running with they. I get more in depth if you boys really them. This is not familiar. I'll explain later. But for now, let me get back to this paper. I'm a couple bands down and I'm trying to get back. I gave Nugget Grip, I lost a flip for 5 stacks. Yeah, I'm talking 5 comma 6, 0 shots, 0 sugar. Back to running circles, well, and it's
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you all please rise as we honor America and the servicemen and women across this country with the playing of our national anthem. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Coppin State University and the Physical Education Complex for today's Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference volleyball game between the Delaware State University Lady Hornets and your Coppin State University Lady Eagles. And now, here are your starting lineups. First for the visiting Lady Hornets of Delaware State University. The outside hitters are 5'10" junior from Miami Shores, Florida, number 1, Sydney Armbruster. The setters, a 5'5" sophomore from Washington, D.C., number 3, Jade Williams. The setters are 5'8" freshman from Kissimmee, Florida, number 5, Melexa Cardona. The outside hitters are 5'11" freshman from Cobb Island, Maryland, number 10, Devin Wubo. The defensive setter is a 5'5" senior from West Jordan, Utah, number 15, Mia Taula. The middle blocker is a 5'11" sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia, number 16, Kiera Holtzclaw. And liberos, a 5'7" freshman from Bowie, Maryland, number 6, Nia Scott. Delaware State assistant coach is Cameron Beans. The head coach of Delaware State University Lady Hornets is Whitney Johnson. And now, the starting lineup for your Coppin State University Lady Eagles. The outside hitters are 5'9" junior from East St. Louis, Illinois, number 2, Asia Stennis. The middle blockers are 5'11" freshman from Stockbridge, Georgia, number 6, Jordan Celestin. The middle hitters are 5'9" junior from Crestview, Florida, number 7, Krista Johnson. The opposite hitters are 5'10" freshman from San Antonio, Texas, number 12, Mia Javon Coleman. The middle hitters are 5'11" freshman from Gilbert, Arizona, number 13, Lauren Harrell. The setters are 5'8" freshman from Atlanta, Georgia, number 15, Brianna Lang. And liberos are 5'4" freshman from Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada, number 1, Chelsea Colabar. Lady Eagle assistant coach is Christina Epps, and the head coach of your Lady Eagles is Tim Walsh.
Net side here this afternoon at the PEC, Physical Education Complex. Here at Coppin State University, Todd Barley with you on CoppinStateSports.com. Getting set for the Coppin State Eagles at 6-17 overall, 1-3 in the MEAC, coming off a 5-set loss to Maryland Eastern Shore on Friday. Delaware State enters play today at 2-19 overall, 0-4 in the MEAC, coming off a straight set loss at Morgan State. Currently, Delaware State has lost 5 consecutive matches, and they have lost 15 consecutive sets since defeating South Carolina State in the Charm City Classic on the weekend of September 21st in this very gym. Straight set win, 3-0. Next up for Delaware State, home match on the 16th against LaSalle. Next up for Coppin State, a home date a week from Friday against Bethune-Cookman. That is a 5 o'clock start on a Friday. Del State in the white uniforms, blue letters, red numbers, black shorts. For Coppin State, they're in the blues, trimmed in gold. The white uniform is Chelsea Colabar. She's the libero for Coppin State. And then the all-black uniform is Nia Scott, the libero for Delaware State. Brianna Lang to serve from the forecourt, if you will, in the video stream. That's left to right, and she begins the first set with an ace. Coppin takes a 1-0 lead here in the first. Lang serve again, played to the net, and Coleman unable to get a block on it. So the first is now even at 1. Jade Williams will now check out. Maya Ungundam is now in for Delaware State as they serve with Melissa Cardona. Stennis with the dig out of the back line. Lang to Coleman. Coleman's kill is dug out of the back line by Del State. Off the block, stayed alive on the Hornets side. Off the double block, that's going to get down for a point to Delaware State. They now take a 2-1 lead here in the opening set. Once again, the service to Cardona, up 2-1 in the first. Stennis with the dig, Lang the set, Harrell with the kill. Now even at 2 as Mimi Coleman checks out. And Rebecca Ori checks in for the first time. She'll serve for Coppin State. Stays about 10 feet behind the service line. Now a line drive jump serve. Set at the net, and the kill attempt went wide. However, Coppin, I believe, into the net, and a point to Del State, up 3-2 now in the first. Carolyn Rikoshi now checks in for the Hornets along the front line. Served by Rubel. Set to Johnson off a double block, kept alive by the Hornets. Comes over to Horry. Lang sets it far side left. Stennis off the net. And she went into the net. Makes it a 4-2 Hornets lead here in the first. Rubel's serve. Dug out by Stennis. Lang back to Stennis. Off the block. That's going to get down for a kill. Stennis pulls Coppin within 1 at 4-3. Celestine's in. Johnson is off. Service down to Chelsea Colabar. Dug out of the middle. This is a back set to the far side. Off the block. Lang tried to get a dig on it. It came wide out of bounds. Point to Delaware State, up 5-3 here in the first. Service back to Scott. Off the top of the tape, Stennis with a dig. Lang with the set. Harrell off the double block, got it down. At least for the moment. Dug out by Cardona. Played back to Lang, far side. Stennis, that's a kill. 5-4 Delaware State. Here comes Elena Geis replacing Lauren Harrell. Geis, the senior out of Lorain, Ohio. High spinning jump serve. Set at the net and a quick kill attempt. It's coming out of bounds. Off the dig attempt by Geis. Point to Delaware State, now leading 6-4 in the first. Substitution. Jade Williams back in. Maya Ungundam checks out for Delaware State. Knuckleball serve dug out by Stennis. Lang sets up Stennis. Drop shot attempt. That's dug out by the Hornets. And a collision between Rubel and Rikoshi turns into a point for Coppin State. They trail 6-5 now with service to Stennis. Coleman's back on. Borey checks out. Dug out of the back line. The drop shot's going to get down. Cardona just a little flip at the net. Got it down in front of Calabar. 7-5 Delaware State here in the first. Miatalo now to serve. That's into the net. Service error. 7-6. Coppin trails. Weaver and Johnson check in. Settlestein and Calabar now side out. Weaver serve. That's dug right to the net. Nice block by Johnson at the net. Now even at 7 in the first. Weaver's second serve. Again to the back line. Set to the near side. That drop shot's dug out by Geis. Set to the far side left. And Coleman puts it into the net. Unforced error makes it an 8-7. Del State advantage. Weaver checks out. Calabar's back on. So now the serve for Armbruster. Lang pops it up on the dig. Calabar sends it over. Stennis did a great job to dig up that kill attempt. But no return volley makes it a 9-7 Del State lead. Armbruster to serve here in the first. Service error as it goes into the net. Makes it 9-8 Delaware State. Geis checks out. Harrell's back in. Service now to Brianna Lang. Dug out of the back line now. Quick set at the net. It gets down through the double block. Hornets make it 10-8 with the point. When Gundam's back, Jade Williams checks out. Cardona once again to serve for Delaware State, up 10-8. Dug out of the back line by Coleman. Lang to Coleman, far side of the net, and that kill's going to get down. Great hustle and effort by Scott to try to volley it back to her teammates, but that was well out of bounds. So now Ori replaces Coleman after the kill. 10-9, Hornets by 1 here in the first. That was just over the front line of the Del State defense, and that kill attempt's going to go long. We're even at 10 in the first. Ori once again to serve. Dug out of the back line. The set coming near side of the net and cleanly out of bounds. I thought for a moment it may have been deflected off the block. Coppin with a lead of 11-10 now here in the first. Their first lead, I believe, since 1-0 on the opening ace. Off the block, that's going to get down, but out of bounds on the Del State side. Even at 11 in the first. Rubel now to serve. From the far end of the floor, Calabar with the dig, Lang the back set. Johnson tried to send it into the back line. Rubel again sends it over. Horry with the dig, Lang a back set for Harrell. That's a massive kill attempt that came off the body of Scott, kept alive. Now Johnson to Lang, far side left to Stennis, off the double block and down. It's a kill for Stennis. That brings Celestine back in, replacing Weaver in the Coppin lineup. Calabar serving up 12-11. Quick set at the net, off the double block, and it's going to be, I believe, into the net indeed is the call against the Hornets. Excuse me, make that into the net. Coppin, point to Delaware State, even at 12 on the service down to Scott. Dug out by Ori. Lang with an awkward set. Harrell with a drop shot attempt. That's coming back and out of bounds. Point to Coppin, now up 13-12 in the first. Geis checks in. Harold checks out for a moment. Has a quick word with Coach Tim Walsh. Service not a Geis. High spinning jump serve. Dug out of the back line. Set to the near side of the net. And the kill is going to get down. The freshman out of Atlanta, Georgia, Carolyn Kashi with the kill to even us at 13 in the first. Service now to Jade Williams. Colabar to Lang, far side Stennis off the double block. It's going out of bounds. Point to Coppin, now up 14-13. Here comes Mimi Coleman to replace Rebecca Ori. Service now to Asia Stennis. And the service error goes wide and out of bounds, even at 14 in the first. Talos back on. Stennis to Lang. And Celestine mistimed her jump. Point to Delaware State, now up 15-14. Tallow with a service error that goes into the net. Now even at 15 in the first. Weaver and Johnson come back. Celestine and Colabar check out for the moment. Weaver with a service error. 16-15 Delaware State. Colabar comes and gets Hazelyn Weaver. So now service to Armbruster. Dug up by Geis. Now for Lang. Give it up to Coleman. And Coleman has the kill go wide. 17-15 Delaware State. Short serve. Dug out by Stennis. Lang to Geis, bumped over. Now a high set near side of the net, bumped up by Geis. Now to Coleman off the double block, that's going to get down. Kill to Coleman, Coppin within one at 17-16. Here comes Harold to get Geis. Brianna Lang now to serve once again. High arcing serve. Bump to the far side of the net, and the drop shot's going to get down. Fading away and going out of bounds, I believe, was Cardona. She'll now serve. Williams out, and Gundam's back on. Del State's up 18-16 here in the first. Cardona serve. Coleman with a miss hit. Kept alive by Colabar. Played over by Lang to the back line, and they're going to say that was out of bounds. Tim Walsh says, I want to talk it over with my Eagles. They now trail Delaware State 19-16 in the first, back after a 60-second timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network. So back to the PEC where Delaware State's taking a 19-16 lead on Coppin State here in the opening set. Of course, playing to 25. And it's also best of 3. Play to 25, win by 2 in the first 4. If we go to a 5th, you play to 15, of course, win by 2. Coleman with the dig out of the back line. Lang sets up Coleman off the double block. It's going to get down on the Del State side for a kill. Here comes Ori to replace Mimi Coleman. 19-17, Hornets with the advantage. Ori with a jump serve. Dug out of the back line. And off the block. That's a point to Delaware State. 2017. Rikashi checks back in. Tallow checks out. Service not a Rubel. Stennis with the dig. Lang sets up Stennis, far side of the net. And that kills down for Asia Stennis. That brings Cullimore in to serve. And now Celestine at the net. Dug out of the middle. Quick set at the net, and that kill's going to get down. Quick set to Holtzclaw for the kill. 21-18, Delaware State. Service now to Nia Scott. Dug up by Stennis, now to Lang. Sets up Celestine off the block, and it's down on the Coppin side for a Del State point. 22-18. Hornets the lead in the serve now for Scott once again. Dug out by Ori. Cullimore give it back to her now. Played on the Hornets side. Dug out again by Cullimore. Lang sets up Stennis. And that kill gets down. Just inside the line, far side. Geis is back. Harold checks out. 22-19, Delaware State. Geis spins it high above her head. Now sends it over. Quick set at the net. And that kill got down. 23-19, Delaware State. So now Jade Williams. Jump serve to Geis. Now to Lang. Sets up Geis. Off the block. Kept alive by Cullimore. Bumped up by Celestine. Played over by Stennis. And the drop shot on the bump gets down. Perfectly placed. That pulls Coppin within 23-20. Ori checks out. Coleman's back on. Service to Stennis. Stennis sends it over. Off the block, Coleman keeps it alive. Now Lang resets Coleman. Far side, that's off a block and down. Kill for Coleman, pulls Coppin within 2 at 23-21. And now a timeout, Delaware State. Back in 60 seconds on the Coppin State Sports Network. Back to the PEC where Coppin State trying to rally. Here in the first against Delaware State at 23-21. Hornets advantage in the opening set. Out of the Delaware State timeout, Stennis once again to serve for Coppin State. Back out of the back line, set to the near side, off the block. Kolobar keeps it alive. Geis bumps it far side. Now to Coleman. Dug out by the Hornets. Again, a high set to the near side, and that kill's going to get down for Delaware State. Do we have a call yet? There is no definitive call on the floor right now. They'll replay the point. 23-21, Delaware State. Stennis sends it over. Bump to the middle and then into the net on the hit. Arakashi. That pulls Coppin within one, trailing 23-22. Stennis sends it over. Dug out of the back line. Drop shot attempt. Kolobar keeps it alive. Now for Lang. Back to Coleman. Off the deflection. And nobody home for the Hornets. Even at 23 in the first on the Coleman kill. Stennis pounding the ball into the floor. Now serves. High set near side of the net. Off the deflection. Kolobar got a hand on it. And back into the body of Stennis. So now a set point for Delaware State, leading Coppin 24-23 in the first. Any point to Delaware State. At this point, they'll take the opening set. Coppin trying to get it back to even it at 24. Service now for Miatalo. Dug up by Stennis, and it goes off the stanchion far side of the net. And Delaware State snaps a 15-set losing streak, and they take the first 25-23. We're back with the second set after this 2.5-minute timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network. So now for the second set, the teams switch ends. So Delaware State's in the foreground of the live video stream. They'll be serving left to right, if you will, from our vantage point. Now it's the fun part. They give the substitution pattern to the official. And then that particular official has to go through the alignment on the floor. That's the quickest I've seen after the first set. Service now to the Hornets. And it's Alexa Cardona. Sends it over on a jump serve. Lang plays it near side. Coleman goes far side and on the kill, gets it down. 1-0 Coppin. Now Lang to serve. Geist checks out. Harrell's back on. Same thing happened in the first set. Coppin garnered that first point. Big kill attempt for Ungundam. Got dug out by Coppin, played back over. Now Del State sets it up again off the double block, kept alive. Lang sets it up now to Coleman. Coleman off the double block, and a point to Del State. Ungundam and Holzclaw combine on the double block. Tallow checks out. Rikoshi's back on. 1-1 in the second. Service now for Rubel. Dug out by Stennis. Lang sets up Coleman off the kill attempt near side of the net. That gets down over top of a double block. Two 2-1 Coppin. Service now for Horry. Into the net. That's played back off the net by Cardona. And a point to Coppin. They now take a 3-1 lead. Horry serves it over. Dug out of the back line. Back set to the near side off the double block. It's kept alive by Stennis on the Ungundam kill attempt. Big kill, but was she in the net is my question. Point to Coppin, indeed. Holtzclaw was into the net. 4-1 Coppin. What's the right idea? Quick set right at the top of the tape. Horry with it. Set to the backside for Ungundam. She sends it over. Lang with a set. Now for Stennis. Stennis over the top. Bumped up now by Scott. And a big hit comes over for Del State. Coppin ready for it. Stennis can't get it down through the double block again of Holtzclaw and Ungundam. Point to Delaware State. They trail 4-2. Holtzclaw checks out. Armbruster's back on. Right at the net. Service for Scott. Dug out by Kolobar. Harrell was into the net, I do believe, or was she? Harrell with the kill. Del State in the net. 5-2 Coppin. Off the double block, Coppin will keep it alive. Harrell now for Lang, near side of the net. And a double hit is called against Coppin. 5-3 Eagles. When Gundam checks out, now Jade Williams checks back in. Williams sends it over. Tough dig for Stennis. Sent over by Coppin. Reset to the far side. Off the block. It's down for Coppin. Harrell and Celestine knock back the Rikoshi kill attempt. 6-3 Coppin now. Marlena Geist to serve. As Harrell checks out. Quick set and kill attempt at the net. Coppin was ready for it. Drop shot attempt. Bumped up right to the net again. Far shot. Rikoshi tries to get it down. She will. 6-4. Coppin by 2. Service. Now to Delaware State. Rikoshi checks out. Talo's back on. Knuckleball serve, catches Stennis for a dig. Lang, and do we have Celestine into the net? No, she gets it down because Del State was in there again. Seven 4 Coppin. Stennis, a low line drive serve, just over top of the tape. Armbruster and Scott were trying to make connections on that third and final touch of the ball. They could not come together. Ball lands on the Del State side. 8-4 Coppin. And the service error by Stennis makes it 8-5 Coppin. Service back to the Hornets. Scott checks out. Holtzclaw's back in. Armbruster's serve is dug up. Celestine kept it alive. Now for Lang. Coleman sent it over. Bumped over now by Armbruster. Colabar to Lang. Quick set. Celestine sends it over. Kept alive by the Hornets. Geis now for Lang. And bumped over by Colabar. That's a big swing by Talo. Check that. Holtzclaw got it down on a big swing and got just enough to get it in. She won a big kill, but it ends up being a drop shot. 8-6 Coppin. Armbruster the serve. Stennis down to Lang. Sets up Coleman. That kill got down. 9-6 Coppin. Johnson and Weaver back on for Coppin State. Service now to Weaver. Dug up by Scott. Quick set to Holtzclaw. Dug up by Weaver. Lang back to Coleman. Dug out of the back line by Del State. This is a tough opportunity. Bump back toward the net, and that's going to be a point to Coppin on the fourth hit. Coppin now takes a 10-6 lead on Delaware State in the second, back after a 60-second timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network. Out of the Delaware State timeout. Service to Coppin and Weaver. up 10-6 in the second. Scott with a dig, set to the far side, off the double block. That's going to be a point to Delaware State. Credit Devin Rubel with the kill. Make it 10-7 Coppin. Service now for Cardona. Back set for Johnson. And she kills it down through a double block, which went out of bounds. 11-7 Coppin. Harrell's back on along the front. Geis will check out. Brianna Lang now to serve. Dug out of the back line. Set up by Rubel. Now bumped back over. Here comes Coleman. And that's going to be a kill. Tallow tried to dig it out. Couldn't do it. 12-7 Coppin here in the second. Just over the top of the tape. That's going to be an ace. Tallow did get a dig on that. However, the set went awry. 13-7 Coppin. Up the far side, and that's going to get down just inside the line for Del State. 13-8 Coppin. Rubel now to serve. And that's going to be an ace. Stennis had her body turned and could not get a clean dig on that. 13-9 Coppin. Rubel sends it over. Dug up by Stennis. Calabar to the near side. Coleman. And the kill goes wide. 13-10 Coppin leads Delaware State in the second. Timeout Coppin State back in 60 seconds on the Coppin State Sports Network. So on the Coppin State timeout, they lead Delaware State 13-10 here in the second. Del State took the first set, 25-23. Served by Rubel. Set to Harrell, and she got it down through three Del State Hornets at the net. Coleman checks out. Ori's back on to serve, up 14-10. You can give her a kill, but that was a drop shot kill. Deep serve, dug by Scott. Set up now to Ngundum. Dug out by Colabar. Played at the net. Harrell tried to get it down. Dug up there by Cardona. Played out of the back line and bumped over. Now by Rubel. Lang with a back set. Now for Harrell. Drop shot down again. Kill for Harrell. Coppin up 15-10. Service once again to Ori. On the back line, Rubel. Quick set. And a kill attempt dug up by Lang. Harrell over the top. Now for Cardona. Scott, near side of the right on Gundam. Off the dig by Kolobar. Played back by Ori, and now over for Lang. Out of the back line, Rubel. Quick set, and that's down for Holtzclaw. She got it down through the double block. 15-11 Coppin. Armbruster's back on, replacing Holtzclaw. Service now to Scott. Dug by Kolobar at the net. It's played by Lang, and I think she came over top of the net. She did. Makes it 15-12 Coppin. Scott with a service error into the near side of the net. 16-12 Coppin. Celestine's back in. Weaver checks out. Service now to Kolobar. Dug out by Scott. Backside to Ngundum, and she got a kill down going across the floor. 16-13 Coppin. Ngundum now checks out, replaced by Jade Williams. Williams to the back line, dug by Stennis. Lang with a back set, sets up Harrell, and Harrell got it down through the double block. 17-13 Coppin. Harrell checks out, Geis is back on to serve. Geis with a high spinning jump serve out of the back line. Scott with it. Give it up to Cardona, and a miss hit on the far side. Rakashi. 18-13 Coppin in the second. Geis with a service error. She knew that as soon as she went to her jump, she didn't get quite the elevation on the spin. Well, the ball over her head makes it 18-14 Coppin. Italo now to serve. Now for Ori. Lang with the set. Big kill attempt for Stennis. Got dug up. Rubel back to Geis, and Geis mishits it out of bounds. Del State pulls within 3 at 18-15. Tallow with it and sends it over toward the back line. Kolobar now to Lang, to Kolobar. Sent over to Scott. Cardona give it up to Rubel. Played back by Coppin. This is coming over near corner. Now a set for Rubel, and did she send it out of bounds? She did. Nearly perfect placement for the Hornets, but it goes just wide and makes it 19-15 Coppin. Here comes Coleman back on to replace Rebecca Ori. Stennis now to serve. Out of the back line. Cardona sends it all the way back to Rubel. Her kill attempt got dug up. Now to Lang. Coleman with it. She'll kill it again. And Delaware State wants to talk things over. Trailing 20-15 here in the second. We're back after a 60-second timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network. Coppin leads Delaware State 20-15 here in the second. Service once again to Asia Stennis out of the Delaware State timeout. Scott with a miss hit. And indeed, I believe they're going to say it was a double hit on Scott. It was. 21-15 Coppin. Stennis sends it over. He'll play it back for Rubel. Set up Coleman to the near side off the deflection. On the kill attempt, Cardona give it back to Rubel. Right up by Colabar. Lang gave it back to Coleman. Drop shot, that's down. 22-15 Coppin in the second. You could tell something was up when she elevated to the net and didn't have a windup. Normally when she gets that big windup, it means it's a kill. Well, she didn't do that and got the drop shot in. Cardona at the net. Celestine tried to block. Colabar sets up Coleman. Coleman over the top. Scott the dig. Cardona back to Rubel. Off the block. It's down. Celestine and Lang with the block. 23-15 Coppin. Stennis to serve. Scott a miss hit again. It's dug up to Rubel, and Rubel's kill attempt is down off the deflection and makes it 23-16 Coppin. Lang said, I touched it. It's the right call. Off the serve, Lang a quick set to Celestine, and Celestine with a kill. Makes it 24-16 Coppin, and now Weaver's coming back. She has a set point serve. Johnson comes back. She'll check in along the front. Weaver's serve. Dug by Tallow. They'll set up Rubel into the net. And the second set goes to Coppin State, 25-16. So we head to the third, now even at a set apiece. We're back after a 3-minute timeout of the Coppin State Sports Network. So in the opening set, it was Delaware State taking out Coppin 25-23. Then Coppin asserted itself in the second, 25-16. So now we are even at 1 going to the third. And now being even at 1, being best of 5, right? You have to win 3 sets. That means there will be a 4th set. So that means we will play to 25, win by 2, at least into a 4th set. And then if we are even at 2, we'll have a 5th, play to 15, win by 2. Again, we've switched sides. Going to the third, even at a set apiece. That opening set win by Delaware State snapped a 15-set losing streak dating back to this very floor on September 21st when they swept South Carolina State 3-0. Coppin, not unfamiliar with a consecutive set losing streak from September 1st to the 8th in non-conference. They lost 12 consecutive sets. In fact, losing 21 of 22, taking a set at Middle Tennessee State, losing 3-1 in a stretch that lasted until September 15th, before going to 5 sets, September 21st, and defeating North Carolina Central. The implied math there is 3-2. So now Lang to serve. She'll go left to right from the broadcast vantage point. From the foreground of the live video stream. Sends it over to Scott. Johnson tried to block it. Lang sets up Coleman. Drop shot attempt. Going to be dug up. Quick set at the net. Lang will dig it out again. Colabar with it. Now for Coleman. The kill is down. 1-0 Coppin here in the third. It appears for the moment the Redskins will survive the Panthers, as the Panthers unable to convert on 3rd or 4th down. That's going to be a block for Johnson and Lang. 2-0 Coppin here in the third. And just about to get underway. Ravens and Titans in Tennessee. That is going to be bumped right to the net. A set to the near side off the body of Lang. Somehow that's not a double contact call. Stennis sends it over. Quick set at the net. And Johnson tried to play it off the block and keep it alive. It's off her hands. And a point to Delaware State. They now trail 2-1. Here in the third, they'll serve. With Malexa Cardona. She changes spots now, and you can see it on the video stream. She changed to the near side of the lane. Coleman off the set from Lang, gets the kill off the deflection, and makes it a 3-1 Coppin lead. Rory checks in, Coleman checks out after the kill. Rory sends it over. Bumped out of the back line. Set to the near side. Drop shot. That's going to be a block for Harrell and Johnson. 4-1 Coppin on the block. Harrell first to touch it, so give her credit for the block. Rory sends it over. Nearly an ace. Played to the near side. Colabar tried to dig it back, couldn't get it done. Give the kill to Devin Rubel. It's a 4-2 Coppin. Makashi's back in. Tallow will exit. Service now to Rubel. Dug up by Stennis. Bumped up by Lang. Now to Colabar. Sends it over. Now for Cardona off the double block. Stennis keeps it alive. Now for Lang. A back set to Harrell. Over top of the double block. Kept alive by Scott. Bump back by Cardona. Now when Gundam sends it over. Lang resets Stennis off the double block. Harrell keeps it alive. Bumped back by Lang. Now Ori sends it over. Longest volley of the day. Awkward hit there by Del State. Came over to Lang. Set at the net. Played off the net by Johnson. She hit it twice. Harrell tries to keep it alive. It's a point to Delaware State. They trail now 4-3 here in the third. It seemed to me there might have been extra contact on both sides during that volley. So now a service to Rubel. Stennis the dig. Lang at the net tried to send it over quickly. However, it's blocked down. Even at 4 in the third. Again, a Rubel serve. Out of the back line, Kolobar sent it over quickly. And now in Gundam, tried to kill it. Lang there to dig it up. Now for Stennis off the Kolobar set. Off the double block, kept alive by Ori. Now for Lang, resets Stennis. Got it down over a double block. 5-4 Coppin. Celestine's back. Johnson checks out. Kolobar now to serve. Up 5-4. Into the net on the service error. Evens the third at 5. Now for Nia Scott. Trying to give Del State a 6-5 lead. Ori, an awkward bump. Now for Stennis. Sent over by Ori. Cardona gave it up to Ngundam. Her kill goes long and out of bounds. 6-5 Coppin. Geist to get Harrell. In the Coppin lineup. So now Geist to serve. Jump serve just over top of the tape. Well done. When Gundam's kill goes long again. Now that kill attempt came from the line as opposed to right at the net. 7-5 Coppin. Geist, service error into the net. 7-6 Coppin. Now when Gundam's going to rotate out, Jade Williams back on to serve. Even at 1 here in the third, 7-6 Coppin with the advantage. Del State serving. Geist a miss hit. Kolobar bails her out, and now Ori bumps it over with her back to the net. And played near side. Geist going to a dive. Can't keep it alive. We're even at 7 here in the third. Jade Williams. Now to serve. Substitution was denied as Goddard tried to get in. This is sent to Stennis. Scott keeps it alive. And a kill on the near side of the net by Rakashi. 8-7 Delaware State takes the lead. Geist checking out. Now it's Goddard on, the freshman out of Fort Washington, Maryland. Williams the serve. Goddard the dig. Now for Lang to Stennis off the double block. Kolobar keeps it alive. Lang, a high bump now for Stennis. Drop shot hangs on the net. Kept alive by Delaware State. And at the net, it's going to be Rakashi sending it over. Lang resets Stennis off the double block. Kolobar keeps it alive again. Lang resets Celestine. Celestine got it down off the deflection. Last touch by Scott. That rally evens the third at 8. Coleman back on. Replacing Rebecca Ori. Asia Stennis now to serve. Dug into the back line. Rubel. And a reset to Rikashi. Now sent back over to Lang. Now to Coleman. That kill is down off the body of Williams. Coppin now leads 9-8. Stennis gets a new ball. And sends it over. Rubel. Off the double block. That's going to get down. Armbrister through the double block for the kill. Evens the third at 9. Rikashi checks out. Here comes Talo on to serve. Bumped up by Stennis. Now for Lang. Coleman over top of the double block. And it's a point to Del State as it went long and wide. 10-9 Delaware State here in the third. Dug out of the back line by Goddard. And how about Celestine? Off that quick bump set, if you will, by Goddard. Celestine gets it down to even us at 10 here in the third. Johnson and Weaver check back in. Colabar and Celestine will rotate out. Weaver to Scott on the serve. Rubel dug up by Coleman. She wants it again. Johnson tried to send it down. She did through a double block. And a point to Coppin State. 11-10 Coppin. Tim Walsh will take the point, even though that's not what he called for. Look, for all the world, they were going to Coleman far side on that set. Weaver sends it over. Off the double block, kept alive by Delaware State. Played back to the far side. And Armbrister just sends it over gently. Lang, a quick set. Coleman off the double block, kept alive. And a long hit by Rubel will give a point to Coppin, now up 12-10. They knew exactly where she wanted to go, to the back line, but just too strong. So now Weaver sends it over. Quick set at the net. That's coming long again. And I believe Delaware State wants a timeout. They do. They trail Coppin 13-10 in the third. Back after this 60-second timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network. So the Delaware State timeout. They trail Coppin 13-10. Weaver to serve. Dug out of the back line. This is right at the net. Johnson tried to block it down. And this is going to be kept alive now at the net. And I believe Delaware State a point. They will get it down. As Goddard trying to dig it out. Weaver checks out. Colabar's back on. 13-11, Coppin by 2. Service down to Armbrister. Colabar to the net. Lang sets up. Coleman. Coleman with the kill. Makes it 14-11 Coppin. And now the service to Lang. Set at the net off the double block. Stennis keeps it alive. Now for Lang. Kolobar sends it over on a bump. Quick set at the net. Double block kept alive by Scott. And now sent long and out of bounds. Last touch by Holtzclaw of Dell State. 15-11 Coppin. Lang sends it over. Quick set to the near side left. Rubel dug by Coleman. Now for Lang. Resets Mimi, and it goes into the net. Mistimed her jump. 15-12 Coppin. Ungundam's going to check in and replace Jade Williams. Serve dug by Coleman. Lang bumps it back. Kolobar just gently bumps it over. And the drop shot's going to get down. 15-13 Coppin. Hornets found the void in the Coppin D. Now Coppin now plays closer to the net. Stennis the dig. Lang the set. Coleman over top of the double block. Dug by Rubel. Now played to the far side by Tallow. Sent back over. Lang. Kolobar's back set. Gave it up to Coleman. She'll drop it home. 16-13 Coppin. Coleman after the kill. Checks out. Replaced now by Rebecca Ori. Bumped out of the back line. Rubel keeps it alive. Sent it toward the back line. Scott, no chance. Gave it great effort, but the way that ball was going, no opportunity to return service. 17-13 Coppin with the advantage. Delaware State takes another timeout. We're back after a 60-second message on the Coppin State Sports Network. So the Delaware State timeout. Rebecca Ori to serve, up 17-13 in the third. Even at one set apiece. Del State took the first one. Coppin State took the second one. Ori's jump serve. Dug out of the back line. Set off the double block, and that block sends it out of bounds. So give Rubel the kill and make it 17-14 Coppin. Rakashi checks back in. Tallow checks out. Rubel serve. Dug up by Kolobar. Bumped by Lang. Now to Stennis into the net. That attack error makes it 17-15 Coppin. Rubel once again to serve. That is long. Service error makes it 18-15 Coppin. Celestine's back, Weaver's off. Kolobar to serve. Scott. Now Ungundam sends it over. Lang to Kolobar. Back to Stennis, and Stennis tried to kill it through a double block to no avail. 18-16 Coppin. now Scott to serve. Dug out by Ori. Lang to Harrell. Harrell over the top of a double block, and she kills it. 19-16 Coppin. Here comes Goddard to replace Harrell, and now Goddard to serve. Eyes down the ball, approaches, sends a jump serve over. Quick set, that's going to be a kill at the net. Armbruster the kill, makes it 19-17 Coppin. When Gundam rotates out, Jade Williams now on to serve. Bumped up by Goddard. Now for Lang. Celestine. Did she hit it long? She did. 19-18, Coppin by 1 here in the third. A set that Coppin State has dominated. However, Jade Williams trying to pull even at 19. Stennis over the top. Played high now by Rakashi. Lang on the return volley. Stennis tried to find the void near side. Scott kept it alive. And into the net on the attack error, Devin Rubel. Point to Coppin, now leading 20-18. Here comes Mimi Coleman. She'll replace Rebecca Ori. Service to Asia Stennis. Bumped by Rubel. Scott and Rubel connect. And it's a point to Coppin State. Makes it 21-18. I say give her an ace. That's just me. Because there was no return service on that, or return volley, if you will. Quick set at the net. Scott keeps it alive off the block. Coleman has it deflected off a double block, and somehow Del State tucks it in to the corner for a point. 21-19 Coppin. Service as Rakashi will exit. Comes back to Mia Tallow. Tallow sends it over. That's going to be an ace. Goddard dove for the dig. Came up empty. Makes it 21-20. Coppin. So now Tallow again to serve. Dug by Coleman. Tough play by Lang, and she sent it out of bounds. Even at 21 now in the third. She had the right idea. There was a void on that sideline. Just couldn't get it down inbounds. Tallow serve, dug by Coleman. Lang sets up Coleman. That's down for a kill. Makes it 22-21 Coppin. Celestine and Colabar check out. Johnson's back at the net. And now Weaver to serve. And it's down for an ace. (23-21). Boy, that's a 50-50 ball. If you have any doubt, you have to play it. Dug out of the middle. Bumped by Scott. And now Rubel sends it over. Dug by Stennis. Lang. To Mimi Coleman. And off the double block, it's down on the Del State side. Set point to Coppin at 24-21. Service to Weaver. Sends it over. Dug by Scott. Quick set at the net. And that kill goes long. Johnson ended up on the logo. And hopefully she's all right. It's 25-21 Coppin going to the fourth. with the Eagles up 2-1 on the Coppin State Sports Network. So in the third, 9 kills, 9 errors. Side-out percentage of 43% for Delaware State on 11 of 25. Coppin, 12 kills, 8 errors. Side-out of 52% at 11 of 21. Travel in confidence and enjoy the comfort of spacious studio accommodations at the Town Place Suites Baltimore, BWI Airport, less than 10 miles from downtown Baltimore. Your home away from home is waiting for you. That's the Town Place Suites Baltimore, BWI Airport, the official airport hotel for Coppin State Athletics. So Del State took the opening set 25-23. Coppin has battled back, taking the second 25-16 and the third 25-21. We are playing best of 5. Here in the fourth, it will go to 25, win by 2. Service to Delaware State in the foreground of the live video stream. From our broadcast vantage point, it's left to right. Calabar is waiting to rotate in for Coppin State. The service will begin with Malexa Cardona of Delaware State. Serving left to right. Well, I credited the net official on this near side with taking no time at all between the first and the second. He's made up for it here, now going from the third to the fourth. I believe they just gave Coppin a card. On the wrong submission of the substitution. Well, as they sort that out. Serve set spike 2018 MEAC Volleyball Championships taking place on the campus of Howard University. This year's tournament set for Friday, November 16th through Sunday, November 18th. Log on to MEACsports.com for more information. Okay, so instead of the card being issued, it was a warning to Coppin State. Lacey Havel's now in for Coppin State. Subbing in, I believe, for Celestine. Off the opening serve of the fourth, Coleman had her kill attempt dug by Scott. Play to the back line, out of Colabar. Dug up by Lang. Set back to Coleman. She hits it into the net. Point to Delaware State. They take a 1-0 lead here in the fourth. Cardona's second serve of the fourth. Dug up by Goddard. Played at the net, and off the block, Coppin gets it down for a point. Even at 1. Maybe the football officials and people that lay down the rules should take a page out of the volleyball gameplay. Instead of landing these games and ending these games in ties, play all the way to win by 2. Off the deflection. On the block by Harrell, it's a point to Del State, 2-1. Just keep playing it out till somebody wins. No ties? What do you need a tie for? That hasn't settled anything. It's a tie. Service ace. Credit that to Devin Rubel. 3-1 Del State in the fourth. Trailing 2-1. Rubel, service error into the net, makes it 3-2 Del State. Here come Johnson and Ori. Well, at least Ori for the moment, as Coleman checks out. From the far end of the floor, jump serve to Scott. Set by Cardona. Holtzclaw sends it over. Set up to Harrell, and that is long on the kill attempt. No deflection for Del State. Give the Hornets a point at 4-2. Armbrister's back in. Holtzclaw checks out. Nia Scott to serve. Back on the back line by Stennis. Lang to Harrell, and it's down through the double block for a kill. Celestine gets Havel. Coppin trailing Del State 4-3 here in the fourth. Colabar serve, that's coming close to the net. Played over by Delaware State. Colabar sends it over gently. And now the kill is going to be down for Carolyn Rikashi, the freshman out of Atlanta, Georgia. 5-3 Delaware State here in the fourth. Coppin up 2-1. Off the serve from Jade Williams. Stennis over top of a double block and down for a kill. There was no definitive call by the net official, even though the ball was on the floor. How in the world does that happen? (5-4) Delaware State. How does that happen? Because Del State kept playing the ball as if it was alive. That's down for a kill. 6-4 Del State on the Rikashi kill. She'll check out. Replaced by Tallow. Tallow now to serve. Set by Ori, now to Lang. Stennis. Off the block, will get it down for a kill. 6-5 Delaware State. Ori checks out. Coleman's back on. Stennis to serve. Dug out of the back line. Cardona sets it up. That's going to be a block for Celestine and Lang. Point to Coppin. We're even at 6 in the fourth. Stennis sends it over. Dug out of the back line. Big kill attempt, and was it off the deflection? It was not. It went long. Off the kill attempt by Armbruster. And now Coppin has a 7-6 lead in the fourth. Armbruster tried to kill it again. Lang with it, tried a drop shot. Played back to Coleman, and Coleman off the block, got it down again. 8-6 Coppin in the fourth. That was fine defense by Del State. Just Coleman overpowered it. Bump by Scott. Cardona for Armbruster. That time she got it down. Kill for the Hornets makes it 8-7 Coppin. Scott replaced by Holtzclaw at the net. Service now for Armbruster. Dug on the back line by Colabar. Lang sets up Coleman. And was it deflected or not? No deflection. It goes out of bounds, even at 8 in the fourth. Armbruster the serve. Sends it over. Coleman the dig. And a drop shot for Celestine is played up. And over by Del State. And then Coleman off a nifty set will get it down inside this near sideline and make it 9-8 Coppin. Colabar and Celestine check out. Johnson for the moment was in along the net. And now Havel will rotate out. Weaver's back in to serve. Coppin leading Delaware State 9-8 here in the fourth. Up 2-1. Off the miss-hit by Tallow. Scott bails her out. Del State volleys it back over. Lang, a short set. That's coming near side and out of bounds. Even at 9 in the fourth. When Gundam's back on, replacing Jade Williams. Service now for Cardona. Cardona sends it over. Stennis the dig. Lang the set. Coleman over top of the double block. Played by Scott. Cardona a back set. Ungundam. Dug out of the far corner by Coppin. Back to Coleman off the double block. It's down for Delaware State. Ungundam with the block. Del State back on top at 10-9. Cardona to serve. Before she does that, Ungundam relaces the sneakers. Dug out by Coleman. Lang back to Coleman. Drop shot. She dropped it again, or did she? Nope, still alive. Lang resets it to Coleman off the double block. It's kept alive for a moment, but down for a Del State point. They now lead Coppin 11-9 in the fourth, back after a 60-second timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network. So the Coppin State timeout. They trail Delaware State 11-9 here in the fourth. 2-1, Coppin with the advantage through 3 sets. We are playing best of 5. You played at 25, win by 2 through the first 4. You played at 15, win by 2 in the 5th, if we get that far. Coleman over top of the double block attempt. Got it to the other side. However, Johnson with a block gets the point. Harrell replaces Goddard for Coppin State. Service now for Brianna Lang. Gundam with a monster kill from the U in CSU. Makes it 12-10 Delaware State. And now it's Devin Rubel to serve. Played out of the back line. And Lang came under the net to make a play on that ball. Makes it 13-10 Delaware State. Rubel sends it over strongly, and it's an ace. Make it long as the official changes the call. And that makes it 13-11 Delaware State. Boy, the emotions went to the top of the world and then the basement in 1 second with the change of that call. Horry with the serve. Quick set at the net. Coppin keeps it alive. Lang with a back set. Harrell tried to kill it down, and she does through the double block. Pulls Coppin within 1 at 13-12. Horry sends it over strongly. Rubel to the net. Punch to the far side, and that's going to be a double contact call against the Hornets. Pardon me, double contact call on Coppin. 14-12 Delaware State. Service now to Scott. Stennis. Now for Harrell. Send it over. They give it back now for a kill attempt by Rikoshi. She sends it along the back line. Horry with the dig. Now to Lang. Stennis on the kill attempt. It got blocked. Now for Lang. A back set to Harrell. Coming to the back line. That's going up toward the scoreboard. It comes right over. Stennis. Now for Lang. Reset to Stennis. Over top of the double block. Deflected. Played by Rubel. And Gundam is going to get the kill down through a double block. 15-12 Hornets here in the fourth. Gundam. She'll stay. And now Scott to serve. And I believe, are we going to get a substitution warning on Delaware State? Indeed, we will. So each team with a substitution warning. It's like an offsetting penalty in football. Big kill attempt by Stennis. Del State keeps it alive. Rikoshi tried that kill. Now it's Harrell, and was she into the net? She wasn't, but Del State was. 15-13 Del State, the advantage. Service now to Coppin State. Colabar sends it over. Scott, the dig. It basically went nowhere. And now Gundam sends it over. Lang with a set to the near side of the net. Stennis over top of the double block attempt. She finds the void in front of Scott and gets it down for a point. 15-14, Del State by 1. Service again to Chelsea Colabar. Scott the dig. Back set to Gundam. Blocked back by Stennis. Scott again resets it. And now sent to the back line by Rubel. Stennis sent it over. And now it's Celestine playing it back for Coppin. Del State just volleys it over. Colabar to Lang. A back set for Harrell, and it's a kill. Harrell evens the fourth at 15, and a timeout, Delaware State. We're back after a 60-second timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network. So out of the Hornets timeout, even at 15 in the fourth. Coppin up 2-1. Service to Colabar. Service error. 16-15 Delaware State. Now Williams replacing Ungundam in the Delaware State lineup. Williams to serve. They go right at Horry, and that's going to be an ace. Delaware State now leads 17-15. Horry checks out. Coleman checks back in. Williams to serve, up 2 at 17-15 in the fourth. Lang plays it. Harrell played it over. That was not easy. Quick set, and unable to elevate the dig was Colabar. It's down for the Hornets. They now lead 18-15 in the fourth. They get a point here. I have a feeling that Tim Walsh will be taking a timeout. Dug by Coleman. Lang back to Harrell, and she got it down for a kill. 18-16, Coppin within 2. Harrell checks out, Goddard's back, and she'll serve. Goddard sends it over. Scott with the dig. Cardona sets it up, and getting another kill is Rikashi. Makes it 19-16 Delaware State. Service to the Hornets. And Miatalo. Played on the back line by Coleman. Lang to Stennis. She can't kill it through a double block. 2016 Delaware State. Service to Tallow. Dug by Stennis. Set to Lang. Back to Stennis. Tried to float it toward the corner. Williams keeps it alive. Now bumped over by Rubel. Quick set at the net. Celestine dug out by Scott. Played by Cardona. Now for Rubel. Coleman at the net. Lang. Scott kept it alive. Now sends it far side. Out of the corner, Coleman. Lang sets it up near side for Stennis. Off the block, it's down. Asia Stennis with the kill. Brings Coppin within 3 at 20-17 in the fourth. Stennis the serve out of the back line. Bumped by Williams. Cardona. Give it up to Rubel. Lang resets it to Coleman. Off the double block. That's down for a kill. Brings Coppin within 2 at 20-18 here in the fourth. Stennis again to serve. Out of the back line. Williams. Cardona. Now for Armbruster. Kept alive by Colabar. Lang resets Coleman. Off the double block. It's down again. 20-19. Delaware State by 1. Stennis to the far side. Rubel. Cardona back to Rubel. Off the block. Kept alive by Del State. Cardona resets Rubel. Over top of the double block. Coleman got a hand on it. Now to Lang. Sends it over to the back line. Quick set at the net. That's going to get down for a kill for Armbruster. She got it down through a double block. Makes it 21-19 Del State. Scott checks out. Holtzclaw's back at the net. Service down to Armbruster. Out of the back line, Colabar, a tough dig. And now Coleman bumps it over gently. Quick set at the net. Holtzclaw can't get it through the block as Celestine sent it back. Return to sender. 21-20, Del State the advantage. Celestine and Colabar check out. Johnson's back in along the net. And the service to Weaver. Out of the back line, that's a dig. And now sent over quickly by Rubel. Play to the near side. Coleman tried to kill it in the middle. It's reset to the far side. Rubel over the top. Dug up by Goddard. Lang resets Coleman off the block, and it's down for a kill for Coppin. Even at 21 in the fourth. Timeout, Delaware State. They had one timeout remaining. They'll use it right here. With the timeout on the floor, we'll keep it here as well. From the moment you enter the newly renovated Holiday Inn, Baltimore Inner Harbor, until you return home, you experience all the charms that give our hometown its Charm City moniker. The hotel is conveniently located 3 blocks from Baltimore Inner Harbor attractions, and it's across from the Baltimore Convention Center. Within 1 mile, guests can find the Horseshoe Casino, Hard Rock Cafe, M&T Bank Stadium, the home of the Baltimore Ravens, who take on the Tennessee Titans today on the road. They're thanking their lucky stars. They're not in Denver today to take on the Broncos, where it's snowing in mid-October. By the way, it's our director's favorite season, almost winter. Bob loves skiing. Even at 21, fourth set. Coppin up 2-1. Hornets now back to the floor. Service once again to Aislinn Weaver. Weaver sends it over. Bumped out of the back line. Set at the net. Holtzclaw's kill attempt got blocked. Now for Rubel. She'll send it over. Coleman, a deep kill attempt is off the arm of Scott and down. Coppin now leads 22-21 in the fourth. Again the serve to Weaver. Dug out of the back line. Cardona, quick set to Holtzclaw. That kill's going long. 23-21, Coppin. Again, the service to Weaver. Out of the back line, that's a tough dig. Reset to Rubel. Off the double block, it's spinning and kept alive by Weaver. She'll send it back to Coleman. Bumped over to the middle. Now played there by Delaware State. Drop shot attempt dug up by Weaver. She vacates the spot. Lang resets Coleman. Coleman's kill goes long. Her swing plane was up. 23-22. Coppin by 1. Service now from Alexa Cardona of Delaware State. Jump serve out of the back line. Stennis into the net. Lang keeps it alive. Coleman punches it over. Cardona drop shot. That's down. Tied at 23 in the fourth. Compton wants a timeout. They had one remaining. Now I believe they're out of timeouts. We'll step out for a brief 60-second timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network. So out of the Coppin State timeout, here in the fourth set, even at 23. Coppin leads 2-1. Cardona to serve. Jump serve comes over. Dug by Stennis. And a kill for Coppin and Krista Johnson. It puts Coppin on the verge. Match point service for Brianna Lang. Right-handed jump serve just over top of the tape. Played at the net. Mistimed jump. It comes over on the bump. Oh, my goodness. Now for Coleman, and she kills it for the match. Coppin rallies from down 0-1, and they defeat Delaware State 25-23 and take the day 3-1. With the win, Coppin now 7-17, 2-3 in the MEAC. For Del State, now 2-20 and 0-5 in the MEAC. What a huge kill for Mimi Coleman. And Coach Walsh will have a brief moment, as he normally does, with his team. That's a huge bounce-back victory after dropping a 5-setter to Maryland Eastern Shore on Friday night. So now for Coppin, they'll host Bethune-Cookman a week from Friday, or this Friday if you prefer. And then the following Friday, they're home against Norfolk State. That Sunday, they're home to Howard, and then close out the regular season with 4 consecutive games on the road. But a huge rally from down 0-1 after dropping the first one 25-23. They take the second 25-16, the third 25-21, and the third 25-23, scoring the final 2 points of the fourth set. And that was huge for Coppin to bounce back this weekend and splitting the weekend at 1-1 to improve to 2-3 in league play. So after the post-game conversation with the Eagles, they are now heading to the locker room. And I have a sneaking suspicion, I'm going to ask Coach Walsh this here in just a moment, about the brief conversation he had with his team here at the closeout of the fourth set. And out of the timeout, as a matter of fact, to be even at 23 and then close it out 25-23 in the fourth. We'll also get your final numbers here, hopefully in a moment as well. In fact, Coach Walsh is digging up numbers through 4 as well. And he's got final numbers, I believe, in hand. So, Tim Walsh, I got to ask you, what was the message to your team after the conversation in the timeout, tied at 23? You come out and get the final 2 points of the fourth set. What was the conversation after the game?
Finish. We got to finish. That's all we got to do. Be confident and finish the game.
Speaking of finishing, that was something in the Maryland Eastern Shore game on Friday you were looking for, but it didn't happen. Taking the fifth set, did Maryland Eastern Shore. How critical was it to bounce back here today?
It was huge. So, the MEAC is any team can take any team, and so for us to lose in 5 against UMES, we really needed that win to propel us into further MEAC play.
So now you're coming off a win. You get a little bit of time off, basically a week until the home game on Friday against Bethune-Cookman. What do you expect for Friday?
Yeah, it's going to be a good match. So, we need to come and play, and we need to be consistent, which we said all year. So it's going to be good.
Appreciate the time. Congratulations on the win today.
Thank you.
There it is, head coach Tim Walsh. That's going to do it here today at the PEC on the campus of Coppin State University. Todd Barley, final score, final time, 3-1. Coppin State defeats Delaware State here on the Coppin State Sports Network.